Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Chris. I'm a first year PhD student at King's College London. Probably clicked on this video because you are a nurse or an allied health professional who is interested in doing a PhD. So I have the tea. Let's get into it. First things first, we've got to put the disclaimer out. These are my personal opinions on this based on what I have not only observed but researched personally. I'll be speaking from my perspective and I hope that you guys find this helpful. The PhD is the highest qualification that you can get, and in nursing or as an allied health professional, so physiotherapist, dietitian, and pharmacist. As an allied health professional, it's always advisable for you to work before you consider doing a PhD. So typically, you wouldn't really be advised to go into a PhD straight after completing your degree. This is mostly because this will help you decide if doing a PhD is actually the right way for you to be able to advance your career, or if you can advance your career by doing a different type of course or training, such as becoming a nurse practitioner. But the disadvantage to that is that as you work, you're probably going to be hitting milestones like buying a house, having a baby. So this is where you really need to think whether it is worth doing the PhD and whether you can afford to take some time out from your career to be able to do that PhD. The other point to consider is the funding. One thing that I've realized is that there are so many funding opportunities for nurses and allied health professionals, where initially when I was looking into this, I really thought there wasn't any at all, but there really is so many resources. I will link some of them down below so you can look into the MLC, look into the NIHR, and they have some clear pathways for nurses and allied health professionals to be able to get the funding that they need to be able to do the PhD. So it's really worth doing some really good research and speaking to some research advisors, anyone who is working in research within your trust, and find out if there is an opportunity for you to be able to look into these funding opportunities. They are there, they're hard to find, but they're there, and they're there to actually help you advance in your career. The other thing to consider is location, location, location. Where are you going to do it? This again is very much dependent on how flexible you are. Are you able to move and all those things? For most people, they probably wouldn't be able to move. They'll be doing it within their area. And that is a lot more trickier because your options are limited. However, it is also worth considering if you can do it remotely. The other thing to consider is, can you find a supervisor within your area of interest? This is a really, really big point because not many nurses or allied health professionals have got PhDs. So it is even harder to find people that are interested in your area that you've got a special interest in. So it's really worth reading a lot of papers in whichever field you're going to be doing that PhD in to find out who are the leaders in that field, but also speak to anybody who is involved in research or carrying out their own research in that area and seeing if they know people that you can speak to. Joining professional bodies is also a really good way of actually finding out people who are in your field that can support you through your PhD journey. So I think it is a little bit trickier for nurses and allied health professionals to find adequate supervisors for their field of interest, and it does require you to do a little bit more digging around, but you can find those people. The other thing is Twitter. A lot of people are on Twitter research wise, and so that would be a really good way to hunt for people that could potentially be your supervisor for whatever interest you have. Can you be supervised by someone who is not in your profession? So this is a really big question, and I think personally, you can. It just needs for you to be able to be very clear on what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve. Somebody who is a leader in that area of research, but then also be clear as to what your goals are within your profession and how you want to achieve those goals, but using the knowledge and expertise of the person who is of another profession. This is debatable though. Some people would say to you that you can't and you shouldn't have somebody who's not in your profession to supervise you, but I really do think that it is possible. So have a look around, speak to people and see whether it is something that you can consider. That's it guys, those are my tips on what to consider if you are interested in doing a PhD as a nurse or an allied health profession. If you like this video, show me some love by liking, commenting, and also consider subscribing to join the gang. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video and thank you so much. Bye!